They'll run here with John Kelly. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to lead to a third. A shotgun snap for Goff. Flush to his right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Goff now looks to throw. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Right side complete. That's Woods. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Robert Woods, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Zerline out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? They start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw, Cousins. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Tyler Higbee, 36 yards. And the Rams add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Zerline out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Let's go.
Second down, Cousins escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Mark Barron able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They go play action here on 1st down. Eluding the clock. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Samson Abukum in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Cousins now on 2nd down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
3rd and long for Cousins. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So now back out come the Rams on offense. A second preseason game for them. They defeated the Raiders, who are actually seeing the Monday night opener, but no Goff, no Gurley yet. Will we see them in the preseason?
That's been the big question, not just around the West Coast, but throughout the league. Will those guys play at all in the preseason? Because some teams are leaning more towards, we will count on you being ready for the opener and avoid injury during the preseason. We're now getting word that the Rams are going to probably play Jared Goff and Todd Gurley limited action against the Houston Texans, but we'll see. They won't play much in the preseason, maybe just a few snaps.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's gone.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Two. Here we go.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Flushed out right. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there from 17 yards out. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. Forbath out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, right now, Charles, we sit in the thick of preseason, and, of course, that means we're in the thick of fantasy football draft season. So, the top 5. It's good to have David Johnson back, Le'Veon Bell, of course, Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Brown, all studs. Who would you take number 1 in a fantasy draft?
Oh, that's a tough one, but I would look at Todd Gurley and David Johnson as my top 2 picks. Johnson missed all of last season with a wrist injury, and with potentially a rookie quarterback there and a little bit of a rebuild, he may get more work than he can possibly handle. Todd Gurley was a beast for L.A. last year, running it and catching it. But how about a rookie by the name of Saquon Barkley with the Giants? I think he'll get a ton of touches. And Alvin Kamara, he showed what he could do last year, both running it and catching it. And don't forget, returning it as well.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Sherrills. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Well, CD, in a couple of weeks we can make our Super Bowl predictions. But for right now, I want to get your AFC Division champion predictions. Who do you have?
All right, let's start in the AFC East. It's New England. Do we need to say any more?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a challenger behind them in that division right now.
That tends to cover it. Miami believes that they can be. Buffalo will be starting over with a new quarterback. So will the Jets. How about the AFC South? I'm going to give you a surprise there. I think Houston comes back and reclaims their crown and moves ahead of Jacksonville and Tennessee, who were both in the playoffs last year. The good health of Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, Whitney Merciless, Houston in a surprise pick.
All right. How about the West? The West is always intriguing. Who are you taking there?
One of the better divisions in football. John Gruden's back in Oakland. Kansas City has a new quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. Denver has a new quarterback in Case Keenum, plus a terrific defense. But I think the L.A. Chargers ride away with this division crown. Philip Rivers has to get it done, somewhat approaching the twilight of his career. And I love their pass rush with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram.
And in the North, I'm guessing you're going Steelers.
I think I have to go the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everyone else has big question marks. The Steelers have Big Ben, and they're really upset about the way 2017 ended when they lost to Jacksonville in the playoffs.
Buying time to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Everson Griffin able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. Back to throw, Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. Lets it fly for Treadwell. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. After the interception, here's Goff. Going up top for Kupp. And got his man complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
The final shot before break here. He gets it to Cooks. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break, as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, on the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Flush to his right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
You know, while we got a second, I did want to take a look back to the Hall of Fame inductions. Took place in Canton on August 4th. And what stood out to you from the ceremonies, from the speeches that you heard?
Well, for me, beside the speeches, just remembering their careers, I really flashed back at how much I enjoyed watching Brian Dawkins play, and his speech was terrific as well. Robert Dr. Doom Brazil with the Houston Oilers, absolutely loved him as a player. And Jerry Kramer had to wait so long with the Green Bay Packers. For him to get in, I thought was terrific, and I can't wait for next year. First ballot eligible guys, Tony Gonzalez, Ed Reed, and Champ Bailey. That's a strong class.
Another star-studded cast.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Throwing, Cousins. Going for the deep ball. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
On 2nd down, here's Goff. And Cooks has it over the middle. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. So on 4th down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll run, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them, not easily.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, LA. Brandon Cooks, 73 yards. And the Rams add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive guy,
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Let's go.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Akeem Talib.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
And this will be a double up for Kelly. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
Goff. Airing it out deep for Woods. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Rams add on to their lead. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10, Goff again. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Rams add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And now out comes Minnesota. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact.